Okay, there we go. We're live. Well, not live, but
Cool.
been a minute, man.
Yes, yes. We're back. We're
I'm back.
back to gracing the airwaves. Hello to our wonderful, huge audience of millions, potentially one day, perhaps.
Someday soon. I may just post this on my YouTube channel, regular YouTube channel. It's kind of ridiculous having more than one when nobody watches anyways, you know.
Well, you
Plus, we
got
can
us
do collaborations now,
totally.
like with all those music videos or songs and stuff.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
when I found all over town, that was like, wow, this is pretty cool.
Very cool. I was so emotional in my singing. I remember feeling like just trying to put so much, almost, I don't want to say too much, but at least there's a lot of feeling in it, a lot of enthusiasm, if you will.
Oh, that's really cool capture of time.
Totally, totally. And I just love the guitar work, yours and mine, and
Yeah.
together. And
Oh,
always be one of my favorites, that song. I have a hard time listening to my own voice and listening to my singing and my own work. There's this feedback I get. I don't know what it is. There's something I get I just don't relish listening to my own self
interesting.
that much. I like to create and share and perform and all that, and I hope that other people get something out of it. And I listen more from a clinical, how can I, improve, and a strategic.
Sure.
So it's a constant sort of flex or effort.
Yeah. I've been listening to a lot of like Beatles interviews and stuff. And
Nice.
I know we did it like almost like a whole podcast on Beatles stuff, but God, they're
Cool.
so interesting. Just so they're just one of a kind, you know what I mean? They are timeless for sure.
They enjoyed such a juxtaposition in the development of the technology and the recording technology and the post World Wars sort of time frame. So there was all these things came together for them, and wow, what a phenomenon.
Totally. And you know, you mentioned technology, but that never held them back. You know what I mean? They were so non-dependent on technology.
And
I think that comes across in their music because they don't care, you know. I want a clarinet here, and they didn't follow rules.
it's a simple word to describe what happened is just magic. And I know that's a
No,
cop out, but it's really no other way to describe. Well,
exactly.
there's other words, talent. I'm sure a lot of it was discipline, but discipline is sometimes born of other things, desperation
Right.
or circumstance.
No, it's magic. You know, it's cosmic convergence. Those
Mm.
four guys individually, I mean, Paul and John were amazing, but collectively, wow,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
And it's funny because sometimes you hear both John and Paul, and always George, to give Ringo credit. And John had some pretty interesting things to say. Again, I'll paraphrase, but John was like, when we got Ringo in the band, he was already the most like famous drummer in at least
Liverpool.
in Liverpool and
Yeah,
maybe the country.
right.
So he was already like a rock star drummer. And Ringo's so funny because He's so funny because he just says, I like to hit the drums. I
Right.
just really, once I hit that drum, because he was sick and he almost died and he was a child in some hospital and they gave him a drum and he just said, wow.
Yeah,
And
and he's so unconventionally, he's so unique. His drumming style, no one plays like Ringo.
sometimes there's a consensus, an unwritten consensus that he wasn't a very technical or an
Right.
articulate player. But if you listen, he's not flashy like doing riffs all the time, but a lot of his drum riffs are very fast.
Yeah.
He'll do this thing like what's the song where and dun, did it, dun, 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 did it. So when he comes in from that, he's doing like triplets, like, you know, this is before Buddy Guy, and this is before, way before Neil Peart or Mitch Mitchell or the jazz guys who were very into that.
Yeah.
So it's dun did it do 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 dun did.
Yep.
So when he comes in, granted it's a short little riff, but it's super fast
Yeah.
and
No,
super technical. And then he hits the cymbal, no rhythm wave or no drop. Oh, it's just like a machine.
and you know, towards the end, they got amazing drum sounds. You were talking about
Oh,
technology. Like, wow, just incredible.
the paradox is this. So with our advancement in technology, and I'll talk
Uh-huh.
about that a little bit too,
Yeah.
our advancement in technology, like the sounds they were getting on their mics is much better than the sounds you and I have right now
Yeah.
with our mics. And even if you go to a studio that's set up for sound, with the digital does something to the sound that the analog
Mhm.
is different. So, but of course, the propensity for what we do with the broadcasting and our ability, like you said, it's in the cloud, and the immediacy of the telecommunication is advanced, quote unquote. But is it?
Right.
Is it's because their sound, back
No,
to your point, their sound is still almost unmatched.
I think quality was sacrificed for convenience.
In
That
modern,
that's what technology seems to be. You know what I mean? You know, back then they were using tube preamps and tube mixing boards and analog tape, and that all contributed to a beautiful audio experience. And then, you know, well, for $5, you can have this preamp. It's just solid state, whatever. You know what I mean?
tiny
With-
little transistors as opposed to those big, ugly, beautiful tubes
yeah, but it's also,
glowing.
you know, it's also playing the right thing. It's just that magic
Oh,
again.
the songwriting, and that's what eludes me. I'm really struggling lately, for years, really. I'm writing very little now. I'm doing a lot more covers, although my covers, I tend to be quite egotistical when I do my covers. I have this kind of judgmentalism with the covers I do, where I'm like, well, they really didn't get the lyrics quite good enough, and I'll change a lot
Yeah,
of things about the covers. To my opinion, they're improvements, you know,
embellishment. You taught me
embellishments. But
that
no,
word.
I do improvements. I call them improvements as far as, but I'm also influenced by cultural changes and different appropriations, if you will, about,
Yeah,
you know, themes and misogyny and things like that. Like, I try not to be too
right.
woke or whatever, but also I want to be sensitive and aware and compassionate.
Hey man, if you, whatever's floating your boat at the time, you know,
Totally.
you know,
Totally.
back in the day, you know, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. Not deeply, but it crossed my mind. I was like, man, Sean had such a range for 20, 20-year-old or 20, you know what I mean? Like, go on and tell me all the things you just did, you know, things that lovers say. And then, you know, the next thing will be like, she's all over town. And it was like, it was so beautiful, you know, you weren't pigeonholed. You never like
Thank you.
constrained yourself, I don't think. You know, you weren't afraid. Didn't you play in like a death metal band for a while or something?
Yeah. Yeah. That was during my divorce. Now, during my divorce was,
Yeah,
and you know, even when me and you jammed, it was during my first or second, not divorce, but heartbreak, which
right.
I derived a lot of inspiration from. Every time I went through those
Yeah,
trials or those tough times, I would translate it to music.
right.
And the death metal band was, you know, a lot of anger about my divorce from my ex. And then I went and jammed with you, and then with Jamie and Jason. I wrote a lot of songs that were very angry against women, you know,
Yeah,
trying to diminish my dependence on them or my concern for love, and trying to, and now I look back in horror on some of those lyrics, and I almost get paralyzed, but I'm not paralyzed
really.
because I'm still writing. And that's what I wanted to mention about the screenplay.
Mhm.
Um,
Wait, let me throw in on anger real quick
of
because
course,
I had a session. What's today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah,
yeah,
Monday. Monday I have my therapy sessions with my shrink.
right,
It was all about anger because the phases I've been going through, you know, with the total betrayal, and it's like the anger's starting to come out now, and it feels so good to feel it and to let it out because it's totally justified. So anger's not
absolutely,
anger's not a bad thing, man.
exactly,
You know what I mean? As long as you don't let it rule you and affect life with others, you know what I mean? But it's a very valid emotion, and
bingo,
yeah,
bingo, absolutely. It's intractable. It is us. It's part of who we are.
yeah,
It's it's attached to happiness. Like, I was gonna say something along the lines of, yeah, anger is good and healthy and nothing wrong with it. It's, and this gets into semantics, but it's hate that can be the scary one for me. But I also feel confused because I feel that hate is somehow attached to love, like in some almost perverse way.
oh yeah.
Um,
You can't have one without the other. You know,
it's just, uh,
and it's present in everything. You know, I mean, the words are kind of strong, but there's always the balance. You know,
right, right,
between like dislike and liking something, hating something and loving it. It's all the same. It's just different. You know, it's different degrees of valley, peaks and valleys and stuff.
right,
You know, the
right.
yin yang of life.
So yeah, again, I'm keep segueing back to the podcast. I mean, to the screenplay
Please, please, yes. I'm
that
sorry.
I no, because the title of the screenplay, I just changed it from Attack of the Possessed Killer Robots to, get this, Paradox of the Possessed Police Robots. Because I realized that the screenplay is 122 pages.
Right.
And I realized that throughout the story, as convoluted and crazy as it is, the police robots don't really attack en masse against humanity in this like attack of the robots. It's not like that.
Mhm.
So I felt like I don't want to mislead already in the title. Now the screenplay is very confusing. There's a
Yeah.
lot of parts that are misleading and you feel tricked or duped in some ways, but I want the title. And so the robots don't actually attack like en masse.
Yeah.
And possessed, has got a religious connotation that's connected to evil, like possessing someone and controlling them, which is nice. But actually, I kept the word possessed. Attack. Let me see. Let's see. The old title was Attack of the Possessed Killer Robots. The new one is Paradox of the Possessed Police Robots, because the robots don't actually kill anyone in the screenplay. There is violence and a couple of people die, but they're on very minor details that could actually just be excised. They're not integral to the plot. The deaths, there's only actually one or two deaths in the story, and they're easily, they could be edited right out. They're very extreme. But I'm relating back to what we talked about, because you mentioned how everything is connected, the good and the bad and everything, and liking and disliking something, and the paradox. So that's in the title of the screenplay anyway.
I think you should ponder, consider dropping both those titles and naming it something so simple. Name it like Light or Jade or Green.
I love it.
Don't pigeonhole yourself. You know what I mean? Something.
I like that. I like that. This is great.
Yeah. I mean, soup. It's like you've already told the story with those titles. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You've cut out a lot of potential audience that aren't into robots or any of that stuff.
Right.
Because again,
if you've got monetary interest, you got to consider what they think too.
Totally.
You know what I'm saying?
Totally.
That's part of the business. It's a weird business, man.
No, I was thinking about what you said, and I was pondering, to use your word, very good one. The Writers Guild, they're basically a group of guys that's sort of there to protect, first of all, themselves as writers.
Oh, yeah.
Against fringe guys that think they're so cool and creative, and they're just gonna, but in a way that's good, but in a way it also, I feel
they're
that
there to protect a system that protects them and doesn't allow other people in. And I can say to anybody watching this, I have 30 years working in Hollywood. I've absorbed a lot.
Indeed. And I do respect the Writers Guild. I don't know much about it, but I respect any guild, and I'm not against you. I'm not going to go right now for or against even unions right now, because that's a separate, I don't want to.
They have their place.
Exactly. They're not inherently bad or good, but they are a protection. They're supposed to protect. So that in a way is good. But, when you're heavy-handed, when you protect, you wind up hurting others.
Well, if you want to talk about like the Hollywood unions, I can pontificate a little bit.
Certainly. No, I'm very intrigued.
The film industry is in a very much of a slowdown right now. Has been for the past year and a half. Before that, there was the big strikes with the Writers Guild and the Screen Actors Guild. And I think this slowdown is because the contracts that they gained through the strikes a couple of years ago, the studios just said, fine. here's your contracts, but we're taking all the production out of your jurisdiction. And that's what's going on. And my thought is these union leaders are going in and negotiating with businessmen. They're going in and negotiating ideals and almost like political rhetoric. That's what they're negotiating, as opposed to, hey, wait a minute. If we ask for this and we're stringent about this, there may be no work. They're not thinking business sense, because bottom line, it is business. And the business has changed very much, even in the past 10 years. It has become more. There's no more studios per se. It's Wall Street board members. I mean, it's not. They negotiate these contracts in a business sense, and there's a new round of them coming up here. Just right now, they're starting to negotiate, but those contracts were up this year. Anyways, God, it felt good to record saying that. Good. And I did it quite respectfully and not foul-mouthed or.
Good. No, it's a complex issue because it's not even a new issue. I feel that United Artists was started way back in the day with Charlie Chaplin and a few of his buddies to protect the artists, United Artists, so that the makers of the films could have their say and have their creativity and get paid. And I also am seeing now a hypocritical nature in my own approach, because I love underground, avant-garde, experimental, that aren't so commercial and formulaic, with the dashing hero and the plot twist here, and so predictable. I love the underground, gritty stuff. But then again, I'm asking you and everyone, hey, I want $100,000 for my screenplay. I'm an unknown writer. Maybe no good. So I'm hypocritical. I shouldn't be asking that much. I'm just.
Why? You gotta ask for something.
Right. And I mean, I don't want to tip my hand, but I'll probably accept less than that. But I also have to protect my co-writers, because, as I said before, a lot of the dialogue in this, which I think is brilliant, it's because I didn't write it that I can say it's brilliant. I just hung out with these guys and I would be cracking up. I had a pad while they were talking, and they knew I'm going to write a screenplay, but I promised them all, when I sell it, I'll give you some money. So I'm going to stick to my guns.
Yeah.
But it's never enough. They'll be like, oh my God, you're only giving me $10,000. My lines are integral to this movie. And they are. Like, if you read this thing, you're going to be like, I don't know. I have a feeling it's good. And I haven't had that feeling about, I'm just intrigued by trying to follow my sort of dream of writing now.
Right.
And trying to stay inspired. So, but I feel like I like those underground films. I feel, because the way I put it is, cinema has become stifled creatively, I feel.
Yeah.
With these blockbuster superhero movies.
It's so formulaic. I mean,
thank you. And I don't mean to criticize or bash it, but I thirst for innovation, and the things that I love about cinema is the surprise, when you just don't see it coming, and it's this newness, innovation. So I feel like cinema is stifled. And then, in a broader sense, I dare say that humanity is stifled. Even with all our supposed advances with technology and stuff, I feel like we're still stuck in this thing of like war and hate and distrust and superstition and so many things that we're not breaking out of.
Always been there. I don't think we're capable of breaking out.
I don't either, but part of my joke is about enlightenment, and if you will, and epiphany and all these things where people do like, oh, I've seen the light, I've changed. Change. Okay. So one of my jokes is like the screenplay, actually this screenplay is kind of dangerous, John. I noticed that I gave it to a guy to read it, and he read the thing, and then all of a sudden he turned into this glowing ball of light and like floated up into the air and like became one with the clouds. So my good buddy that I want to hang out with, he's gone. He's like part of the ether now. He's been enlightened. So anyone that reads this, I don't know. It's kind of maybe no one. We're all going to phase out into, I don't want to say heaven, but.
You better raise the price to $500,000.
Well, the other joke is, yeah, I offered it to Universal, and they only offered me 50,000 for it, so I told them to screw off.
Yeah.
But that's just a joke. I haven't offered it to anyone. I did email it to my buddy Maury, or I texted it to him. He said, "Can you email it?" I'm a little nervous about putting it out there, but also I gotta put it out there at some point.
Yeah. Just mail yourself a copy. The format is copyright for the time being.
Okay.
Don't open it.
Yes. Okay. I'll do that.
I don't know how legal that is, but it's something.
I've read that there's certain parties like online when I research that say it's not really a copyright involved, but they want you to go through the channels with the government. And
Right.
It's not even a lot of money to copyright something. It's not even that much of a pain.
It's a process.
Yeah, but it's mundane, but it might be worth it to me. I should probably do that too. It's a step towards legitimizing the product.
Mm-hmm.
And like I say, and now back to the guilds, like, the Writers Guild might be annoying, and it might be, hard to breach or get entered into it or get considered by it.
You could say that.
But I do respect that there's got to be some control, if you will, or some standards in the industry, but also it can be paralyzing. It can be detrimental.
It's a crazy mess.
Yeah.
I'm in a Hollywood union, it's
right.
I no comment,
Well, I respect that.
It's beneficial, but it's also, you feel dirty being part of it sometimes. Just
right. You question your integrity or whatever. And but I'm proud of you. I've always respected that you've made your living with it and made it a good living with it. I know you've worked so hard, but I like that they, treat their help. They pay you okay, or they have paid you okay on occasion.
Yep.
And I'm so excited about that, to see a small town guy like us make it in the big leagues. That's wonderful. So there's some merit to the competition and the struggle. But
I don't want to burst your bubble, because I'm not.
Please don't.
I don't want to burst your bubble, but I also want to open your eyes to an alternative, I guess, reality. That whole system of writing a screenplay and getting it sold to a studio and having it made, and the Writers Guild and all that, archaic.
I agree.
For anybody watching this, you're watching this on YouTube, and I 100% believe that is the way to go.
I agree.
There are ways to monetize. There's also that avenue.
No,
so it's not bursting your bubble, but there's another avenue that's probably way more relevant.
Well, actually, because also you know me, and you know I'm not going to really join the guild and go through the hoops and do that. I'm just not. So I am going to subvert. I love YouTube. YouTube subverts the studio system in a way. Here's
Oh,
everything for free. It flies in the face of everything, like even that United Artists.
and it's surpassed all of them. It is the most watched service in the world. And you keep mentioning United Artists. They were the great beacon of artists back in the day, you know? Like Woody Allen got his movies made through United Artists. They
Wow.
were a studio, but they were the typical studio. But uh, there's really not any of those left, you know?
I
And
I
I
yeah.
think it is now the more homegrown grassroots, get it out there through social media. Um, that's the avenue. And you can make money on it.
Is that backwards?
No,
I
no, it's
made
not.
a cover for my screenplay, an artistic cover,
Yeah.
um, sort of like it's like a novel, and I do like the advent of a play or a screenplay because it could be screenplays aren't generally read, but plays are like you read a Shakespeare play. So this
Screenplays are like beyond texting someone, screenplays are the worst form of communication there are. And
they're
trust me,
torturous.
I have I have read hundreds of screenplays because that's what I do for my living, you know. Um,
I've only read like one or two, and I couldn't read them. I couldn't.
literally, I've read hundreds, and I
They're
think
this.
I've read two that were good.
Well,
One was called a West Texas children's story. I forget who wrote it, but it was someone of some note. And the other was called, at the time, it was called, God, I forgot the name of it. It came out as Finch. It was a Tom Hanks movie about a robot taking
oh,
care of he's dying in a post-apocalyptic world, and he builds a robot to care for his dog because he knows he's going to die. And it was such an amazing screenplay. BIOS was the name of the original screenplay. And then it was called Goodyear. I'm wearing a sweatshirt from that show. And then it came out as Finch. That was his character's name. And the guy, one of the screenwriters was, I'm going to say, I don't know this. You know, if we build our fact checking pop up machine,
robot.
yeah, Ivan Powell, I think he was part of Blade Runner, just to just to give him credence. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
Um,
Blade Runner's always been a big Hampton Fancher is a great
yeah,
inspiration. I'm so proud that I wrote an 120-page screenplay. I don't know if
that's a
it's good or
little
not.
long. You might have to cut that down. 90
It's
pages is ideal.
okay. Well, a lot of this, I don't know if this is good at all. I haven't shown it to anyone. And I need all this input from you. I'll let anyone read it that's interested. Um, it's designed to lose a lot of fat. I really went
Yeah,
generously here. I overdid it
yeah.
basically. But I overdid it with this. Of course, you always have the hope in the back of your mind that every single thing you write is absolutely brilliant.
No,
And
you throw it all in there, and yes, you weed it down. I mean, you know, if you hire someone or somebody hires a director to create that screenplay, they're going to cut stuff out or add stuff in and rewrite it. You
totally.
may not notice it 6 months from now. You know what I mean?
And you may not recognize it. It can
Right.
undergo
Yeah.
huge transformations as
No.
far as I've heard. It can get,
But if you get the money in the bank,
yeah,
then
have at it. Have at it.
that's the trade-off for getting paid for things. You know, is like
Right.
You really don't own it anymore. You sold it.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm totally cool with that. I just love the story about Hampton Fancher writing his thing, sitting in a dingy apartment in Venice or wherever he was. Yeah. And of course, he, writing it, quote unquote, he took it from this brilliant novel,
Yeah.
Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, which I love. I just love that book. It's really weird, but I love it.
It was a very special project.
Yeah.
To this day, it's like there's just a lot of special involved. And that was a hard film for them to make. It's that, you know what I
Very,
mean? Oh.
very, very lot full of struggle.
Mhm.
And inconsistencies and all these problems and stuff. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, I know those kind of shoots too, even for the crew to make it. Working all nights is really, it's hard, man. It's so hard.
Very tough.
It's not natural. I mean, you get used to it, but it's never natural. Like on the weekends, you just invariably get up and catch daylight. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
We're not built for nighttime. Our eyes aren't designed for it. Our skin, we need vitamin D from the sun. You know what I mean?
No, totally, totally. There is a place for night. I think we do need night. Sometimes we need to
Oh
see
yeah.
the stars and the moon. It's also good for us. But yeah, come on. You can't see. So in my self-promotion, I wanted to show, here's my newest 120-page, brand new, beautiful screenplay. I'm calling it an avant-garde sci-fi rom-com. Here's a 300-page novel that I've
Oh yeah.
printed out. This one's called Viv Hendricks, Artist, Superhero, Double Agent, and Time Travelers. That's a 300-page novel that I wrote. Here's a little blast from the past you might recognize. Here's a little 66-page, 10-episode episodic screenplay written by Sean Boyce and John Proctor.
Why don't I remember that?
Herbie the Zombie Avenger. It's Herbie and Hank.
I remember Herbie and Hank.
So it's Herbie and Hank, 66 pages worth.
And how pleasant of a surprise that project came out to be. I don't have a copy of that anymore.
I can send you one. I
Do
don't
you
know.
have it?
I do. I have this physical. I have 2 physical copies.
No. The thing we filmed.
Oh, the footage, the film.
We made
No.
we made a finished product, like,
Yeah. With Darren.
yeah, but I don't know where it is.
I
Just
don't
to
know if it even
delve
quite.
into just to delve into the dark side for a second. Part of the fallout of my marriage and coming to realize, like, I was married to someone with a personality disorder is so much of my past I become disassociated with, so much of my personal relationships through life. That's a thing they do. They try to make you distant from those things. It's all about control. So there's stuff that comes up and I'm like, what? Oh yeah. It's, as I tell my shrink, it's like, I'm starting to see through the fog now. And that's where, like, the anger and anyways, back on subject.
It's a blur because we actually did 2 projects. Day of the Noodle Eaters is a separate project, or
Yeah.
it might have actually morphed into one project, but that was a film we worked on and we filmed in galleries. We had AJ.
I remember that.
We had special effects, brain spatter.
I have some
Makeup.
still photos from that about shooting it, but I lost so much footage. I got to take the John Lennon approach to things because he always told people, if you start a song, finish it. Don't put it off. Then I'll work on it next week. He used to tell George Harrison this all the time. If you start a song, finish it. And it's not impossible. And once you get used to it, it's natural. And there's so many unfinished things that I've done in my life. And it's like,
it's tough.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I'm so excited that I quote unquote finished this.
Yeah.
And it's not even, I did email it already to someone. I'm boasting about it. So I'm sharing it too. It's finished, whether it's terrible or not, it's finished. Right. And thank you. I'm so proud of that. But we finished Deputy Bob. We screened it twice.
Right.
And that's great. That's a great accomplishment. And I'll even generalize or scrutinize further, more specific. Maybe it's more. Once you start playing a song, you should finish it. You should, even if they boo, because you never know. Like, the Hail Mary in the end of the game when you knew you were going to lose. Like, imagine you get to the ending and people are like, oh, actually, that makes sense now.
No, that's true. That's true. But yeah, I'm guilty of George Harrisoning things. And I want to be more like John Lennon. You start a project, finish it.
It's tough because this is nice. This is a finished 300-page novel.
I'd love to read it at some point, man.
Thank you. This is an older one, and I haven't really revisited it or done anything with it. So,
I know you've
finished, but I never.
Years in the making.
What?
You've been talking about it for years, so.
Yeah. Thank you. Now I have some other things too. Here. This is half of a new novel that I started in. This one's called Dishwasher Jones as the Pacifist Bank Robber, a crime novel of pure fiction. Now this, I finished half of it at, I was going for 42 chapters. So 28 chapters, I printed out half of it in May of last year. Now I've almost got the other chapters done. There's like one chapter left. Good. And some of the chapters need more writing, but at least they're started. So I've almost finished my second novel. So I'm getting excited about that. What else do I got here? This is my comic book. It's like a 28-page little indie comic. What?
I've seen that, haven't I?
Yeah. I finished this, published it, put it in comic stores, tried to sell it. I sold a few. I sold them all or gave them all away. I think I printed 25 of them.
That's brilliant.
At great cost. Thank you.
Thank
you. At great cost to myself. Let's see. This is not finished. This is only the cover to a children's book that I don't want to talk too much about.
Well, we should talk about children's book because there's another unfinished product. It's finished, but it's not finished.
Yes, and again, I was thinking about that, and I was gonna maybe mention it. I'm glad you mentioned it because I didn't want to. The other thing is you don't want to pressure the guy. If someone's trying to finish a book and you go, "Hey, finish your book," it can be like, you know what? Bye. So you know what I mean? I'm kind of kidding, but there's, I think we should just print up a copy or two of that as is and finish it that way. Just even I know there's a few pages and actually the cover, the cover, the actual painting, I owe you a painting because it fell into, it's sort of owned by my brother's, my nephew now. It was being stored in Jamie's house, and when he moved out of LA, all of a sudden I was talking to his wife's nephew. So let's just call him my nephew-in-law. And he's like, I got a painting of yours in my room. I'm like, what is it? He's like, oh, it's like this girl in this house covered with snow.
Right.
She's a young girl. She's looking out on a snowy landscape with a train going by and there's fairies flying. I'm like, you have the cover to the Jan book. He's like, you want it back? I'm like, no, you keep it. I'll paint a better one.
Right. Well,
So now to do that. Yeah, I might die in the process, but I'll finish the last stroke. I'll hit the floor, but someone please take the painting and finish the darn book.
I'm writing it down. Yeah. I've had a few things going on in my life,
No kidding.
but I have the best incentive now. My children are the perfect age for that book. You know what I mean?
I was talking about you to a friend of mine, and I was trying to remember the age of your kids, and it started to freak me out when I started to think
They're 5 and 6.
5 and 6.
Yeah, Connor will be 7 next month.
That's what I thought, and I thought that Rayleigh could be 5, and that freaks me out. That's a quick one.
Well,
It is going. It is. Yeah, we gotta finish that book quick.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's designed to be enjoyed by adults and children. I think a good children's book is just a good book.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm sorry I hijacked your children's book, but
No, I don't want to brag about this one too much because I don't want to say the title because the title's private for now. It's going to be a fun book about police mice.
okay.
So far, I mean that.
The good thing about our Jan book is I still have a bunch of the original paintings hanging. A lot of them are hanging in my children's room.
I know. So it's done its job. I mean, the paintings alone were such a great accomplishment for both of us, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And cathartic and just hilarious. They really were a lot of work, tough going at some points. I lost, I had my relationship disintegrate I don't blame it on any one thing, except I blame myself. And anyway, we'll get to it.
Yeah.
We'll get to it. No pressure. It's got to be fun. It's got to be. But it can be fun to plod through and have the discipline and do the hard work. It's fun in a way just to force through to the other side and see if we can't.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second.
He pulls out the dusty manuscript. Ooh.
Not so dusty. It's pretty pristine, but
yes.
I think this is it's not in order, but I think this is a version of the book.
Oh, good. There is a manuscript.
Yeah.
So it's finished.
Right.
We got through the bulk of it, but let's maybe publish one and leave it in a library for free for them to throw out. I don't know how to finish anything either. It was fun screening. It was fun screening Deputy Bob because it felt like we actually made a movie and people watched it. And I kind of laughed, even though it's bittersweet. I laugh at your reaction. You were so pissed. Like, we were the only feature-length comedy in the whole festival, and they couldn't give us an award or a mention, and I agree. I say just the fact of making a comedy deserves a darn award. I don't care if it's not funny, and I don't care if it's not good. The world needs humor, man. The world comedy to me is such an art, such a mystery.
Oh, it is the most mysterious art there is. And
it's easy to make something scary. It's easy to make something sad. I don't want to say easy. Okay, whoa. But to make someone actually laugh out loud. Oh,
yeah.
What a trick. What a gift.
Oh, completely.
And to me, the part about the jam book that is a huge success, the fact that he had Lemonade for Blood is just that alone makes the book worth, it's priceless. Like, I need to see a book like that published, like where the robot's blood is lemonade and it's called Squeaky because they ran out of oil. Oh my God, that's right.
Yeah.
Brother.
Well, it's a beautiful story too. The payoff
really
is
is
beautiful, you know.
I love it.
Yeah. So it's worth. It'll gain some steam again.
Good.
You'll be like, John, don't call me anymore.
No. Yeah, no. I don't want to say I'm desperate, but I'm searching for meaning and purpose in my life, like we all are, and
Right.
it's scary, but I want it to still be the arts. I want to keep at it. I don't know. I'm stubborn or stuck or whatever it is.
Well, I don't think that's a question with you. So
it's looking like a pattern or a purpose, but
yeah, it's been half a century, but we'll see if it sticks.
Half a century of making things that are almost great. It's okay.
You have moments of greatness.
I do. Oh. We do.
The original
Keep on running.
Keep on running.
Thank you,
dude. I had a tape. It was 4 songs you did. And that was one of them. And
Please tell me.
Please tell me.
Please tell me.
And I think there was 2 others that were just as good, just not quite as good as those, and I can't remember them now.
I can't either.
Like, you had a golden moment in time.
Thank you.
Like prolific with.
I did. I remember those times fondly. I was young and naive, and wow.
In the guitar shop, right? That's central to it.
Yeah, no, I had so much support. I had so much support from my parents. I never even gave them credit for how much they supported me and how did they put up with me anyway.
Right. Well, as long as you eventually realize these things, you know, it's all worth, you know.
Yeah.
It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm so traumatized these days. Like saying, there are people who are capable of beautiful things. I have to
absolutely. Actually, everyone is capable of beautiful things. Everyone is beautiful. But
I might argue that.
It could be argued with, but the sad part is everyone's beautiful. That means everyone's also very ugly.
Yeah. Anyways, back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Yeah. I don't.
Hey, I got to ask you a question.
Yes.
This is a technical break.
Okay.
In the podcast realm.
If not, we'll tweak it. We'll fix it.
So how'd this time of the day work for you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because is there a time limit? Zoom is kind of interesting because it'll cut you off in 40 minutes. It gives you sort of a goal to get to, and then you want to fit everything in, and then you can do another one, but this one might be open-ended.
Right.
So, but if we wrap it up kind of soon, I can go and look at dinner, and it's a good time for me. How about for you?
It's good for me.
Okay. Perfect.
Good for me. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't have to make dinner if we get into something where we don't want to stop.
No. I think it's kind of good to like set limits and stuff. And
totally compartmentalize. It helps me because
Well,
This
you've
isn't
always
easy
been
for
like
me,
that.
and I wish I had been a lot funnier and smarter during this one, but at least I self-promoted. I got that goal done.
Yeah.
Not that I like to do that, but I tell you just, hey, if anyone needs a great screenplay out there, let's talk turkey. It's very innovative. It's very funny and weird.
Hmm.
Avant-garde sci-fi rom-com.
That's wonderful, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did you have notes? I
Yep,
remember you used to always have notes, and I always felt like a jerk for not having any. Next
I
time
have.
I'm gonna have notes.
I'm gonna have notes. I'm gonna have notes. You want to try again for a week from today?
Yeah, would love to.
All right, good. Same time, 3 o'clock Wednesday. Good.
Let's do that.
I look forward to it, and I will have notes. I have fun with JC. I really scramble because that's more about humor, and
Yeah.
JC's pretty darn funny. You are too, but we're also kind of serious.
Yeah.
Our art is a little bit different anyway. But
We're more the dark side of.
right, we have a lot of humor, but it can
Yeah.
get pretty subverted or hidden,
Yeah.
hidden humor. Um, So, but with Jay, it's really, and I scramble to try to, I go to my buddy Dave, who's a mess, and he always has these hilarious anecdotes, and I just use his stuff so far. But for ours, maybe we'll email or have an idea, or I'll have some notes, something will come up.
Yeah. Yeah.
If
Totally.
not, I told you, I really liked, you had one the other day, it was just you talking. And not even talking fast. You were like thoughtfully talking about just how you felt. And I
That's
said, he's onto something because instead of all the pretense and intellectualism and this guy's just a dude. I could listen to this guy talk in the background.
that was the third one in a series I'm doing, and I have like 14 outlined. I don't script them, and it's more documentation. Honestly, it's the ability to actually get it out of my system is huge. And it's if my children ever get to an age where they want to go, whatever happened to mom and dad, they can see dad's side of the story. They can go back and reference it.
Very important. And imagine you're walking down to the bus stop and you see a little booklet there and it's somebody's diary. And
Right.
you're like sitting there at the bookstop, this guy's diary. Of course you're gonna read it.
Yeah.
And if it's anything good, you're gonna read that whole thing.
Totally.
And so what you're doing is a diary. It may not be the most, because it's a diary that's intended to be found, which there's a rumor or a theory that all diaries are sort of intended to be found, but some of them should not be found because they can be very
I journal every day. That's part of my healing.
good.
And, I would be mortified if someone read some of it.
Yeah, no, some of it should be private.
So raw and so unfettered, or
Good
I don't
Lord.
know the word.
That is, if you really are writing unfettered thoughts, you're getting somewhere.
Well,
Your
that's the only
therapist is right. You're
the key to healing is being truthful, and acceptance and getting clarity, and there's no room for about fallacy, in my opinion.
very
Yeah, it's been a strange 6 months, man.
yeah, man.
But I'm getting good.
Just hang in there. You look great. It's always a pleasure.
Yeah.
I'll say thank you to our audience for tuning in on our candid thoughts. Hopefully they were interesting.
Yeah. And I'm gonna post this on my channel, my
Perfect.
Strange Love channel.
Lovely.
We'll have it. That can be a whole topic in itself someday. And I'll post our older stuff too, minus one where we had a bad guest host.
Yes, yes. Totally. Yes, I'm into it. Good, good.
All
Put it
right.
out there. All right, John.
Very cool.
Excellent. Good to see you. I'm psyched to see you Wednesday, and I'll
Yeah.
probably email you. If not, I'll definitely be there.
Yeah.
Great.
Email is the best way to get in touch with you, right?
It is, especially with notes and stuff. If we do notes or ideas, email is I like better because you can refer to it if you ever have to.
Okay.
But call anytime, the house phone anytime, and I'll pick it up if I'm there, and I'll call you back.
Okay.
But email's great, and
It's so funny, man. I still know that number by heart from 12 years old.
that's another reason it's
I
pretty cool.
don't even know my own cell phone number half the time. You know what I mean? But
So definitely call anytime. I don't care if it's 3 in the morning. Sometimes I won't answer right away. I'll get back to you.
oh, it's the same with me. You can call anytime. I won't guarantee I'll answer. You know?
Thank you.
And I go to bed at like 7 p.m. now.
Nice.
I'm on the kids' schedule.
Good, good.
You know,
Say hi to the kids for me.
will do, man. Will
And,
do.
good. Take care. I'll see you in a week.
Talk to you later.
Talk soon. Later. Bye.
Bye.